Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to give you a more detailed version of how to present an essential oils class. So if you want to learn some new things that you can add to what you're already doing to help get a higher close rate with higher individual sales and more people opting into the loyalty rewards program, then keep watching. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm Teresa and we are in step 1 of Fast Track. In step 1, you are enrolling 3 customers on LRP. I've already taught you the skills you need so that you can be totally successful at it. You just need to keep practicing. But now we're in the bonus section. The bonus videos will all be videos you don't absolutely have to have in order for you to complete this step, but it's information you may want to have because it will be helpful. I already gave you the simplified outline of how to teach a basic essential oils class, but in this video for the bonus section, I'm going to teach you a lot more detail and a lot more of the specific wording for an essential oils class so you can add any helpful pieces to what you're already doing. In the simplified video, I taught you how to present for a class or a one-on-one. Since this is much more detailed, this video will only include how to teach in a group class setting. The next video is the detailed version of presenting an oil class in a one-on-one. And remember, even though this is more detailed, this is not my comprehensive training on this subject. Those will be included in my all-inclusive trainings. Now, remember, if you tend to get overwhelmed, just remember that everything you learn, don't feel like you have to do it all right now. You just keep adding little pieces here and there to what you're already doing. I've given you these videos so you can refer back to them as often as you want and keep perfecting your process a little at a time. And it will all become so natural for you. You build this business however you want. This is fast track training for people who want to go fast, but don't let that scare you off. You can do this at your own pace. If you've been going through my fast track training, you'll already have some of your appointments set up, or you will soon. And I want you to feel prepared. So let's get right into it. There are 5 parts or sections to the class. This is an update to my How to Close a Class trainings, which I know many of you will be familiar with. I used to teach that there are 3 parts to a class. Now I say there are 5 parts. I actually used to include the other 2 parts within the 3 sections, but I've learned that these 2 deserve their own category. So it's still basically the same, but now there are 5 parts to teaching a class. And what I teach you to do in these 5 sections of the class is going to show you in more detail how to create a solution to the reasons people don't buy. This will increase your success significantly. I'm going to give you some pointers first, and then I'll go through the 5 parts in more detail than the simplified version. A class will generally be longer than a one-on-one. You want the class to be 45 minutes to an hour. Don't go long, because if you do, you will significantly reduce your close rate. You can get away with an hour, 15 minutes, but you better be stopping at that point. If it goes long, you'll be able to follow up with them later if they can't stay, and probably just as many will buy eventually, but you've created a ton of extra work for yourself. And you guys, I have a hard time keeping it to that amount of time too, but it is worth it. I like to have a packet of 5 handouts for them that I give to them at the beginning of the class. You don't have to have them, but if you can, it will increase your close rate significantly. Because we're in fast track, I'm going to teach you what to do, but I won't be going into much of why you're doing it or the nuances. I go into all of those details in the full How to Close a Class training, but for now, I'm going to keep it as basic as I can while still giving you most of the scripts that you'll need. These are the handouts, and you want to have them in this order, top to bottom, when they get them at the beginning of the class. The first handout is some sort of an essential oil handout that tells them how to use the oils. It can be an A to Z guide. It can be a printout that you create. It just needs to have a list of health challenges and the oils you would use for them. The second handout is simply a summary of the class you're going to teach. The third handout is the product price list from doTERRA.com. Make sure it's the one that has the columns that show the retail price, the wholesale price, and how much PV or point value the product is. The fourth handout is the pictures of the different kits. You can find information about that on doTERRA.com. Some people sell those. And the 5th handout is the enrollment form, also on doTERRA.com. As you saw, most of these handouts are available at doTERRA.com, but the 2 that aren't, I've included them on my website for you, teresaharding.com. Go to the resources section. And the doTERRA Empower Success System at doTERRA.com has a ready-made packet available for you called Natural Solutions. You can use that one if you want to. We have the link here for you as well. If you use the Empowered Success packet though, you'll need to add the Business Made Simple handout as well from my downloads on my website. Just add that one to the packet right after the enrollment form. Make sure each person who attends has their packet when the class begins, and I'll show you how to use them in a minute. Doesn't matter what kind of class you're teaching, the basic outline will stay the same, and then you can teach whatever theme you want. Part 1 happens right at the beginning, and it will feel to the class like you're doing this before you start, but this is actually part 1. Ask a question to get them thinking. The question is, what are your health goals, or what are the things you want to learn about today? I used to teach that you could ask this question at the beginning if you wanted to, but now I do it every time because we've learned that it creates more engagement in their mind right from the beginning. As they answer, make sure you write them down on a piece of paper or on a board at the front of the class so that you don't forget and end up not getting to them. This section should take about 5 minutes. This one question is going to be a game changer for you. Not only will it allow you to gear the class toward them, it will ensure you don't go over time trying to cover everything. You can just make sure you're focusing on the things that they want to learn, and it's going to help you during the close to be able to help them better. This part should take about 5 minutes. Part 2 takes the longest for me to explain to you, but it is also the part that gets people starting to plan to buy even before I've started talking about the oils. Part 2 is where you will welcome them, you'll explain the little packet of handouts that you've given them, you'll share your personal story, and who is doTERRA. This should be about 10 minutes or less. Here's what it will look like. Welcome everyone, and then you're going to talk about the handouts right now. Hold up the first handout and say, so this is the first handout. It's basically just essential oil information. I like you to have this because not everybody has a book on essential oils that helps guide them with which oils will support which health concerns. So if you look through this, you can see that you can look up different health challenges to get ideas about which oils are good to support your health in different ways. So now you'll notice that this sheet will only have some of the minor challenges that you might be dealing with. And the reason that is because, of course, there isn't room to put them all on here. If you want to find more of the major challenges that you might want to learn more about, you'll need to look in a more comprehensive essential oils book. There are books you can use that have the health challenges listed for you, and it tells you exactly which essential oils can help be supportive with what you're trying to do to help your body. What I want you to notice is that you can look different things up on this handout, and I'd like you to be able to look it up while we're going through the class. And I'll also take some time during the class to show them an essential oils book and walk them through it, show them how to use it and how it works. Now you'll hold up the second sheet and say, this is simply a summary of what we're going to cover in the class today. Sometimes it's hard to remember everything we talk about, so this one is for you to keep so you can follow along, you can take it home. It'll help you remember some of the things we talked about in the class today. You can take notes on it, that's yours. Hold up the price list and say, this third handout is the price list. There are 2 reasons I like to give you this handout. Number 1, I can't stand it when I go to a class and they won't tell me the prices until the very end. You'll notice there is a column, and of course I point to the column that you're talking about, that shows the retail price and one that shows the wholesale price, and then a bunch of other columns. See how the wholesale price is in bold? I say that's the price you're going to want to look at because it's the cheapest way to get the oils. Everyone buys it that way, whether they want to be a consumer or a builder or whatever. So that's the price you'll want to look at. The second reason I like you to have this handout is because in my experience, what I have found is that as we go through the class, there are certain health challenges or oils we talk about that you'll find you're wanting to know more about. So what I want you to do is just keep track of those on this list. I know it's kind of tiny, but just make a little note, put a little star. Then at the end of the class, when we're going around, we're going to help answer your questions individually, and we'll be able to help answer your questions about it. So just use it as kind of a wish list. Now you'll notice that you can buy the oils individually, and I'll point on the paper where they can see the individual prices of the individual oils, or you can buy them in kits. And as you would expect, when you buy the kit, you get a better price. So when you show me your list of oils at the end, I can look at your list and I know what essential oils are in which kits. And that helps me to help you get the oils you're wanting for the cheapest possible price. So it just helps me to help you at the end. Now hold up the last 2 handouts and say, these last 2 handouts we're going to talk about at the end. Next, go right into your story. Your story should be just a minute or two. Keep it super short. Let them know why you got involved. This helps create trust that you have a powerful reason that made you want to help other people because you saw what it did for you or whatever is true for you. Then you're going to talk about doTERRA, the company. In this part, the two most important things you need to talk about are first, the philanthropic activities we do around the world, including co-impact sourcing, and second, how the oils are sourced responsibly to take care of the planet and the integrity and availability of the oils. At the beginning, you ask them what they wanted to learn more about. If any of those questions were relevant to this section, make sure you answer them here. Part 3 is what are essential oils and the quality. This part should take about 5 minutes. You can get feedback from the class about why quality is important. In this section, you can already start to include some testimonials about the oils for people that you've helped. Every time you mention an oil, pass it around if you have it. And side note, if you take the lid off before you pass it around, it is less likely to go missing in your class. So just a thought. And don't forget to answer any relevant questions from the beginning of the class that should be answered here. Make sure you address the fact that there are a lot of oils online, but that you can't always be sure of the quality or if they're the real thing. We've had people who have bought doTERRA oils online, and when they receive the bottle, the oil has been replaced with olive oil or water, or sometimes the seller will empty it halfway out and fill the rest with olive oil or coconut oil. When you try the oils the way we show you today, not only do you earn a lot of free product, you know it's also coming from doTERRA, so you don't have to worry about what you're getting. Plus, you get all of your shipping dollars saved up as free product credits on your account. So most people like to do it this way to make sure they're getting the real thing. Now, make sure you're not making it sound like you're afraid they might go buy from someone else. This is you making sure they have all the information they need. This is for them. Part 4 is the 3 ways you can use essential oils, which is topical, internal, and aromatic. Give them some examples of ways to use them in each of these 3 categories. And the rest of part 3 is what oils are supportive for which health challenges and the different ways you can use them. This part should take about 20 to 30 minutes. You turn this section into an oil party. Show them how to apply the oils, pass the oils around, have fun with it, and people will get all excited as they try them on and ask questions. Invite people to share their favorite oils or how they've used them that has worked for them. During this part, make sure you are addressing the list of questions you made at the beginning of the class. Even the most skeptical person will often start applying oils when it's an oil for their health challenge. We want everyone to have an experience. I am telling you, the more you get the oils going around the room, the more successful your class will be. Also, make sure in this section you share info about more than just the oils in the kit you may be teaching the class around. The worst thing you can do, okay, well maybe not the worst, but don't just share oils that are in the kit you're talking about. Always share at least 4 or 5 other oils, and make sure you talk about the Lifelong Vitality Pack, or LLV as we call it. Because if you're really there to help people, you don't just want them buying the kit because it's what you talked about and it's the only thing they know. You want to help them figure out the actual specific oils they need for their situation. I'll teach you how to do that in the How to Close video, which is also a bonus video in step 1. So for now, just know that if you will talk about more oils than what is in the kit and talk about the LLV, the amount of your average order will increase and a lot more people will want to set up a loyalty rewards order. Part 5 of the class is the close. This should take about 10 minutes and you'll learn how to do that in the 4th bonus video of this section. I'm giving you a whole separate video for that because in the close you are handling so many of the reasons they don't buy that I think it's important enough to give it its own video. But basically in the close you'll need to create solutions for them. Show them the easiest way to get the oils they want, plus you're going to mention the business in a way that gets them intrigued but not turned off. All in the How to Close video. Now get in your notebook and make a list of the 5 handouts, and your action item is to make sure you have copies of what you'll need for your class. Practice explaining the 5 handouts 4 times to get you really used to it. And I have a special gift for you. The wording for that is, you guessed it, on my website, teresaharding.com, in the resources section, just for you. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope this video helped you. If it did, leave a thumbs up. If you think this training will help somebody else, pass it on to them. And one thing I would love to hear in the comment section is how this information changed your close rate. A lot of times I don't get to hear the end of the story, and I love it when somebody comes up to me at convention or at leadership and lets me know how it went. My other videos will be to the side if you want to check them out, and you can subscribe if you want to know when my new videos come out. I also notify everybody on my Instagram and my Facebook, and I love giving away free stuff there to you guys, so come join me there and be a part of what we're doing. And before I let you go, I want you to remember to create teamwork in your life. You can create teamwork in your family, at work, in your personal relationships. I just had a really emotional, difficult conversation with one of my employees because we were misunderstanding each other and seeing things only from our own viewpoint. But when we took some time to get real with each other and made the relationship important enough to take the time to talk it out, to start making plans about how we would move forward, it changed significantly overnight. We're not done. We're still going to work on learning from each other, and I learned some ways I need to change how I respond to things. When we start seeing only our own side, we shut the door on teamwork. So look for places in your life or your business where you're being blind to possibilities for better teamwork and start doing something about it. You guys are awesome. Bye-bye.